Hi everybody, it's the Ruthless Jobber here. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 56 of A Broken Heart. It's Monday, 23rd of November 1998. It's Nitro, and we kick off with pre-show matches. We've got Diamond Dallas Page taking on Wrath. And we get a pre-show bout that had good heat and decent wrestling. DDP gets the win in 12 minutes 18 by pinfall. 58 for the wrestling, 57 crowd, 66 overall. Yeah, I think we're going to have to take James Vandenberg away from Wrath as manager. Buff Bagwell taking on La Parka, taking on Lance Storm in a triple threat match. Why not? It's only a pre-show match. A decent pre-show match, it says here. Buff Bagwell got the win against La Parka and Lance Storm in 10 minutes 21. He managed to pin Lance Storm with a blockbuster. I don't choose the winners for most pre-show matches. I didn't for this one. I was actually expecting it to give it to La Parka, but it didn't. 58 wrestling rating, 51 crowd, 63 overall. And finally, a six-man tag. The Dudley Boys team up with Booker T to take on the Latino World Order of Psychotic and Eddie Guerrero. A good pre-show match. Booker T and the Dudley Boys got the win. In 15 minutes 21, Booker T pinned Psychosis 2 with a missile dropkick. 68 wrestling rating, 59 crowd rating, and 76 for the overall segment rating. Pretty good. Let's head into the main show. Kurt Angle kicks things off as he takes on Roddy Piper. We have given the win to Kurt Angle because we are pushing him to the moon. We've got good heat and decent wrestling. Kurt Angle got the win in 12 minutes 3 seconds by pinfall with an Olympic slam. Yeah, I didn't want Roddy Piper to submit in this one, but I wanted to give the win to Kurt Angle. Roddy Piper wasn't best pleased, but I kept him strong, and that seemed to help. 58 wrestling rating, 56 crowd, 58 overall. Not great, but as Kurt Angle, keeps gaining pop, that hopefully his ratings will go up. He's nothing special just yet. Maybe I'm pushing him too hard too quickly. I'm not sure, but well, we're just gonna see what we can do really. Gorilla Monsoon announces the final participants in the Gauntlet match that will take place at Mayhem. And he announces Eddie Guerrero, the Giant, and the winner from Conan against Chris Benoit tonight. Kurt Hennig interrupts in the studio, and he says he wants to be in the Gauntlet match. He wants a shot at the possibility of getting a title match, and he challenges Sting to his spot in the Gauntlet match. This rating is 60 for this segment. Gorilla Monsoon struggled when going off script. I'm a little bit surprised about that. He does have a hot catchphrase. Maybe cancelled out the two penalties there. But yeah, disappointed with that rating overall, to be honest. Gene Okerlund interviews Chris Jericho, and he cuts a promo on Booker T. And it's also an announcement of the US title match at Mayhem. Booker T will defend against Chris Jericho. A great 80 rating here, which did gain heat in their storyline. Excellent stuff. More in-ring action, a token tag team match. Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton take on the Faces of Fear. We haven't had this match yet. Certainly not in TEW 9 anyway. I was quite surprised with, so why not? In a decent wild brawl, the Faces of Fear defeated Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton in 8 minutes 45 when Meng forced Bobby Eaton to submit with a Tongan death grip. Bobby Eaton was the weak link. We get a 60 rating for the wrestling, 51 crowd, and 61 for the segment. Bobby Eaton sustained a broken wrist. Well, that's a shame. I don't do much with them, but I never really like to see people sort of get injured. Okay, thank you, Jerry. And oh, there we go. It was Ming's fault. Brilliant. Sting's in the ring, and he says he accepts Kurt Hennig's challenge for his spot in the Gauntlet match. So there's a bit of a sort of promo from Sting, and he accepts the challenge. Randy Savage comes out and he says he will sanction the match. It will take place tonight. Kurt Hennig rushes out and he squares up to Sting. He wants to go now, and Randy Savage says, "Oh no, this is our main event. I'm up in the game for Nitro. I'm up in the game for this company, and we need another marquee match to headline tonight, and this is the one." So tonight Sting will take on Kurt Hennig for his spot in the Gauntlet match. 83 rating for this one. Bam Bam Bigelow takes on Sean Morley. Just wanted to get Bam Bam on the card. A decent match. Bam Bam gets the win in 6 minutes 20 by pinfall with a military press slam. Nothing special, as I say, just get Bam Bam on the card. We did have the Giant at ringside just to advance their storyline. So the wrestling got a 56, the crowd got a 47, and 69 for the overall segment. And then post-match, the Giant gets in Bigelow's face, so just kind of squares up to him. Bigelow kind of cuts a little bit of a promo on him. The Giant isn't phased though, and he's just kind of looking intimidating. As I say, just squaring up to Bam Bam really. Rating of 69, and the storyline advanced, didn't gain or lose heat. Bam Bam Bigelow enjoyed having the freedom to go off script. And in an 87 rating, we get a great 4-minute video package. The focus was on Hollywood Hogan. So this was kind of like Hogan's his hero promo video. You know, he's now face, and it's probably the first like promo video we've done of him as like being the All-American sort of hero again. So yeah, just wanted to get him on the card in this sort of way. 87 rating, fantastic. Goldberg cuts a promo and he calls out Raven. Last week, Raven was very upset with Goldberg. He kind of got himself involved in something as Raven was trying to get in the ring for a match. Raven comes out and he does insult Goldberg, realizes he may have made a little bit of a mistake. Randy Savage comes out and he says, you two are going to go one-on-one at Mayhem. So Raven kind of realizes, oops, what have I got myself in for? You're probably wondering why I got Vader and Sid Vicious in there. Vader and Vicious are feuding they're part of the Streak storyline at the moment with Goldberg. Goldberg's promo was just on them really until Raven decided to come out. The story did gain heat though, which was fantastic. 84 rating overall. Mysteriex take on the Outsiders. We just wanted to get the Outsiders on the card in a match. They're not involved in the main event. We kind of established last week that people may be getting a bit fed up with them always being in the main event. But we had great heat and good wrestling. The Outsiders got the win here in 10 minutes, 6 seconds. Scott Hall pinned 6 with a handful of tights, so he did have to cheat to get it. 6 was the weak link. Maybe a little bit surprised. Don't know really. I guess there's always a weak link, but it doesn't always give you a note. What did he get then? A 58? Okay, yeah. I mean, look at that. I guess Rey Mysterio Jr. is probably superior to him in the ring. We got a wrestling rating of 72, crowd 67, and 71 for the match overall, though. I'm quite pleased with that, actually. Scott Hall is backstage, and he's cutting a promo on Hogan, and he says he wants Hogan at Mayhem. If I can't have you on Nitro, if I can't have you tonight, I want you at Mayhem. Bret Hart appears, gets in Scott Hall's face and says Hogan would never turn down a challenge like this. So just kind of we are announcing that match, but we're not having Hogan actually in the angle. No reason other than just to do things a little bit differently. 81 rating overall for this one. So there's another match announced for Mayhem. Scott Hall will take on Hollywood Hogan. Bret Hart defends his belt against Kevin Nash. That was already booked, that one. The storyline, unfortunately, lost heat in this one, but 81 rating, you know what that means. This storyline already has a pretty decent rating. Chris Benoit takes on Conan. This match is for a place in the Gauntlet match, and it's a decent match. Conan does get the win in 13 minutes 21 by pinfall after using a foreign object, so he did need to cheat to get there. 60 wrestling rating, 54 crowd, 69 segment rating. I always had Conan in the Gauntlet match, but yeah, why not just do something to actually get him there? Yeah, just decided to do this, and yeah, so Conan will be in the Gauntlet match. A taped video, it's a sort of Big Van Vader menacing promo video, nothing more to it than that. 65 rating. Never know with Big Van Vader. I mean, I rated him on, I think he was just the subject of the video, and I think, depending on his menacing rating, I'm sure menacing can come into it. Obviously, probably would have been a much higher score if he was more over, and perhaps if he had star quality, but I'd like to think he's got enough menacing to get a better rating than that. Dirt sheet, what's that going to tell us? Is it going to give us, got a bonus from the road agent work, but doesn't say anything about any penalties. Okay, 65 is what we've got to live with. Kurt Hennig then cut a pre-match promo on Sting. Sting obviously putting his place in the Gauntlet match up for grabs against Kurt Hennig. Kurt Hennig thinks he's got a really good chance. Obviously, the idea of this is to just have a really good main event, you know, without Bret, Hogan, all the outsiders. So 71 rating, pretty decent. And the match really disappoints. I am really annoyed at that. 67, seriously. Well, let's get through the important stuff. Fantastic heat and good wrestling. Sting defeated Curt Hennig in 16 minutes 8 seconds by pinfall. The match was designed to tell a specific story. Maybe that's what did it. I don't know. Wrestling got a 71, crowd 80, and overall 67. I am very disappointed with that. What's the dirt sheet going to tell us about this one? Few bonuses there for Hennig, a few bonuses for Sting. So what did we get? A few bonuses for the referee and the agent work and the hot crowd. Right, yeah, a few penalties for Hennig as well. Okay, that's a shame. 67 is probably going to hurt our overall rating. Yeah, there was no storyline associated. Yeah, got to remember, got to have that actually. What do we get for the show then? 74. Yeah, I'm annoyed at that actually. We've lost popularity in 16 regions. That's probably hit the US, which is where we were starting to gain ground again. We did increase in 14 other regions though. But yeah, I'm very annoyed at that one actually. Injury review. Bobby Eaton is out for 14 days. Could have been worse. I don't think I have him at Mayhem. Do you know what? I'm actually going to look. I can't remember what I've done. Is he at Mayhem? Are they? Ah, he was. He was booked in a match at Mayhem. That is typical. It's a match that we haven't sort of built up. I can change it. It's not an issue, but how annoying. After this show, obviously, or at the end of this episode, I will have the card for Mayhem. You can go through it and give me your predictions. Okay, let's get rid of that screen then. Financial report. We made nearly 350,000. Popularity recap. Yeah, they were lost in the US. That's a shame because we gained a few at the last show. Okay, Bobby Eaton injured. Yeah, we know about that. And it's Nitro viewing figures. Okay, that's it. I think really I will have a quick look at the roster. I just want to see if anything has moved with Kurt Angle and maybe even Steven Regal, although we didn't use him this week. So Kurt Angle. Where's Kurt Angle? Still down as recognisable, but I mean he's got to be getting there, isn't he? And Steven Regal's still recognisable as well. Just want to have a quick look then at Kurt Angle's pop. Let's see where we are. So, well, 50, between 50 and 55 in the US. Let's track progress. So, yeah, it's going up really nicely. Look at that. 30, 30, 30, 40. And now, as I say, 50, well, 49 minimum. But mainly, yeah, got some 55 there, mainly 50s. So, yeah, whatever we're doing is working. We do have him wrestling at the pay-per-view. That is just a little spoiler before I give you the full card. That is the match that I'm now having to change. So yeah, hang about and I will give you the card for Mayhem. The big world title match then is Bret Hart defending against Kevin Nash. The United States title is on the line as champion Booker T takes on Chris Jericho. And the tag team championships are also being defended as champions. The Dudley Boys will go up against Mortis and Wrath. And then we've got the Gauntlet match for a world title shot at Starrcade. These are the participants. They are in alphabetical order. Bam Bam Bigelow, Big Van Vader, Buff Bagwell, Diamond Dallas Page, Eddie Guerrero, The Giant, Conan, Rob Van Dam, Sid Vicious, and Sting. Mysterio X take on Totally Perfect. Hollywood Hogan will meet Scott Hall. Arn Anderson takes on Kurt Angle. That should have been Bobby Eaton before the injury. That's an easy pick there for those of you doing predictions. And Goldberg will face Raven. Probably another easy pick. Okay, so yeah, give me your predictions. What's going to happen? I mean, there's a couple there that are easy. There's a couple there that probably 80-20, you probably know who's going to win. But I have been known to, throw up a few kind of surprises. But it's the Gauntlet match. Who do you think's going to do it? I mean, who's over? Who deserves the title shot? Who am I really trying to push? I mean, Bam Bam Bigelow's there. Everyone knows I'm trying to give him a big push. Sting is still a great... I didn't really know what to do with him a couple of weeks ago. But, I mean, you look at him, he's still our biggest star. Sid Vicious, he's another one in the main event now. Maybe he could get a good main event out of Bret Hart. Diamond Dallas Page is still a great worker. I'm trying to push Rob Van Dam. Eddie Guerrero, you can't discount him. Big Van Vader, a great returning WCW star. Conan's probably the only one I haven't mentioned. The Giant as well. The Giant, another great, great worker who maybe I'm looking at putting in a main event. Yeah, let me know. Give me your predictions. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.